I think it was at the APC summit at your presentation. You were like, this training shit is super easy and we make it complicated. And that was one of those things I was like, man, that is like, that really stuck out with me. I was like, that is the truest statement. Again, back to social media, back to the things that you see coaches doing. And it's like a complication arms race. So for you in your program, one, is that something you've always done? Like, has that always been your philosophy? And then two, how do you keep it simple for your athletes?
Yeah, well, I've never heard it said complications arms race, but I do like that. Like, I totally agree. It's just like, and some of it's probably like ego driven. Like, we all want to sound smart at some level. So like, I get that. But you know, has it always been super simple? I probably earlier in my career thought that I needed to be more complicated for the sake of complexity, for the sake of my ego, for the sake of showing people I'm smart. And I think as I've grown in the space and got more comfortable with who I am, like I literally tell my athletes I'm a boring strength coach. But when they see the results, it's just like, I literally actually just this year, because you know, with the transfer portal, we get players that come from all these different teams. They have different strength coaches. And so like I actively like kind of seek perspective. And so I always ask them like, yo, is our program way different than where you came from? And they're always like, yeah, it's way different. You know, we go through why that is and those types of things. And I remember we had a player who we put on like 10 pounds on him over the summer. His vertical increased. And I literally told him, we were talking about like fancy exercises or something. And I said, yeah, I don't really care about exercises. I care about results. And he was like, dude, I could tell. And it's like, it was almost like, I think it was one of those like backhanded compliments where it was like, yeah, we do the same shit a lot, but also like, you care about results. Like I've gained 10 pounds, my vertus went up. So yeah, I think it's as I've, I think, just grown in the field and got more comfortable with who I am as a coach. Like 10 years ago, I would have never been on a podcast and said I'm a boring strength coach, because I would have felt like people are going to judge me for that. Where now it's just like the goal of training shouldn't be to be complex. The goal of training should be whatever the outcome for the player or the individual is. Right? Whether it's no matter where you work, if you work in personal training at a local gym and the client comes in and they say they want to lose 10 pounds, then the training only needs to make sure that they lose their 10 pounds. Right. So like, don't turn them into a power lifter or a weightlifter unless you think that's how they need to do to get, lose 10 pounds. I would argue that's probably not the best way, but like, your programming is your program. Just make sure that the lens that you're putting it through is what is the outcome of interest, not what is the exercise of interest. Like, who cares? My programming has changed. Like, we don't do hang cleans anymore, but we used to do hang cleans. I've never snatched players, but I know very good strength coaches who snatch high level basketball players. To each his own. As long as your lens is what's the outcome of interest and you're getting that outcome, then who cares? And I think I think sometimes we lose that through social media because of the arms race of complexity.